Hey everybody, I am going to share with you some navigation tips, some easy ways to navigate the World Class Teacher Program Candidate Support Canvas course. If you're new to Canvas, these will be some really helpful tips. And even if you're not new to Canvas, I want to show you some things maybe specific to this course. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to pull up the course. Now, I do want to say that yours may not look exactly like this because I'm considered a teacher of this course. And the student view doesn't look exactly like that. I could click on the student view here and show you what that looks like. But keeping it in this view helps me to navigate it better, and it's not substantially different for you. So these are called modules. So you have, here's a module, and this first module is, I titled it Watch First and Visit Often. And one of the reasons that I want you to watch it first is because there's a welcome here, and then there's a navigating the course where this video that you're watching lives on that page. And then there's a virtual cafe, and I want to click on the virtual cafe. This is a place to come in and tell us who you are. So grab a cup of coffee or whatever your preferred drink is and pretend you're actually sitting in a cafe and you're chatting with your new friends and colleagues. And so here are some things. And just really quickly, because, you know, again, if you're new to Canvas, you might not know this. So where it says here, optional, include a video greeting or put some photos of family, pets, you know, children, etc. Maybe your classroom, not your students though, because there are privacy issues with that. But it'd be great if you put a photo of your classroom here. So I want to show you how this works. So to make a post, you hit reply, and then you'll see this toolbar here. And so what a lot of people like to do is like do a video introduction. And so if you want to do that, and it's a really great thing to do, you can just hit this, record, upload media, and then you start recording there. It'll let you record yourself, and then after you record it, you upload it. And then you have a video introduction of yourself. Really simple to do, but it really helps to be able to meet one another, you know, through video. If you don't want to do that, that's fine too. You can just answer these questions, post some photos there to make this really a personal thing. So let's say that I did a reply and I want to, you know, maybe like talk to somebody else. It's not going to let me do this because I didn't put anything there. But if I'd put something there, you would see what I put, and then you could reply to me. So you'll see here that we ask you to, you know, respond to others. It's just a conversation. So I can now go back to the home page. You go back and forth to home, just like this. Just do home. So again, in this first module, there's a welcome video. I'll just show you. There's a welcome video from me. There I am. And it explains that this Canvas course is just one small portion of our support. We'll see you face-to-face on Zoom and in person. You'll get some feedback on your work, and then there are resources and things here for you, as well as the discussion boards and that type of thing. So if you just want to go from page to page, you just click next, and it takes you to the navigating the course video. Next takes you to the virtual cafe. So that's the way you can do it. You can just go from one page to the next, or after you visit a page, you can click home, and there are your modules. You could also go just to modules, and you see just the modules. All right, so this was a module, which is just, remember, a welcome, and that virtual cafe where you'll visit a lot. You can, again, post photos and things and just get to know one another there. So then I have these two modules. All of this you'll recognize from the standards workshop course. So 200 of you took the Canvas workshop, the standards workshop Canvas course this summer, and I pulled out not everything from that course, not everything, but the review materials that will be very helpful for you to have here handy at your fingertips. Now, you still have access to the standards course that you can visit a lot and go back and forth, but I just thought it would be nice to have it right here for you. Now, if you, let me stop the share for just a minute. This is really important. If you did not take the standards workshop course this summer, please, 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 please email Tracy Gilmer. It's tracy.gilmer@gmail.com, and I have his email address here in the course. Ask him to add you to the standards workshop Canvas course. You really will be a little lost if you don't go back and do those modules first. Very important first steps and introduction to National Board Certification in that standards workshop Canvas course. So let me go back to share the screen, and so again, you have these modules, review from standards, another module that is review from standards. Remember the body of knowledge, which is 5 core propositions, architecture of accomplished teaching, your standards, atlas, some of those things like that. That's a review. And then you are going to be, you'll be invited to join the modules for the components that you registered for. So let's say you registered for component 1, you'll see this when you come into Canvas. And the other components are here. Component 2, component 3, component 4. So you only do the components that you registered for and that you ask for support for this year. So all 4 of them. So let me show you. We'll just go in. You'll notice that there's a help forum. Let me click on this. So in each component, for component 1, 2, 3, and 4, there's a different help forum. So you can ask questions about that particular component. But remember, and your facilitator is going to check it periodically. If you ask a question, let's say on, Monday morning or Sunday night, don't get upset if it's not answered right away. It may take a couple of days. Remember, all the facilitators are also full-time classroom teachers, and they also have families and busy schedules. But so don't get upset if it's not answered right away, but your facilitator will check the form periodically. Also, as you remember from the standards workshop course, don't ever ask a question until you have first checked the guide to National Board Certification. Okay. So another thing you can do is once you've checked that guide to National Board Certification, if you can't find the answer there, you can call 1-800-22-TEACH, or you can click here and it takes you to the National Board web form where you write your question in and then they'll email you the answer. So let's say I had a question about the directions for component 1 and I filled out the web form and they emailed me the answer. I might want to say, hey guys, I had a question about this particular aspect. Here's the answer I got from the National Board. And that way you don't have to, you don't all have to call 1-800-22-TEACH or all have to fill out the web form, okay? So, but if you still have questions, if none of those things helped, then post it here. And then you can also, it's not just your facilitator that can answer, you can answer one another. So let's say I'm taking the course and I know an answer that somebody asked. I don't have to wait for my facilitator. If I know that answer, if I've already asked the National Board, I can post it right there. So, and again, all you do is you hit reply to make a post or to respond to someone else's post. So let me go back. I could click next. And here's the discussion for component 1. You can, we encourage you to use this to build a strong community among yourselves. And we also encourage you to meet outside of our sponsored meetings. And this is a way to like maybe schedule those meetings. I can say, hey guys, I'm going to do some studying Saturday on component 1 or Thursday night on component 1. And I think I'm going to head over to Starbucks or the Hattiesburg Public Library, or my principal said I could open my classroom. Do some of you want to come over and we can all study together and give one another feedback and help one another out? So any collaborations you want to set up, but basically here's your discussion place. This is not where you ask questions of your facilitator. That was in the help, okay? So separate the two. Questions here and then conversations here. And let me just go back home. I always just like to use the home button as well as the next buttons. But so what you see here, this is just full of tons and tons of resources for component 1. Have resources you can study. How do you schedule your appointment? What do you do leading up to your assessment? What do you do after your assessment? And then drop down here to component 2. You have a help forum there. You have a discussion forum there. And then let's just keep hitting next. That's another way you can navigate. I have made a couple of videos to give you overviews of component 2. There's a planner here, and in the video I'll walk you through how to fill out that planner. It told me my screen wasn't sharing anymore, so I had to come out of that. But that is basically an overview of Canvas and how to navigate. So a couple of things to remember. Canvas is just a small part of our support, but it's there for you to access and use between our meetings. And so remember, the meetings might be Zoom, they might be face-to-face, but the Canvas is just a portion of it. And it's really going to be so helpful for you to have all these resources and materials right at your fingertips that you can visit. Let's say, because I like to do a lot of work like after my husband goes to bed. And so it might be 11 o'clock at night or midnight. And I also get up early. The older I get, the less sleep I need. And so, or it might be like, let's say 5 a.m. I want to get up and I want to do a little bit of work on something, and you can go right into Canvas and do some learning there, some posting there in the discussion or on the help. So that way it helps you to kind of have it at your fingertips all the time. So that those are some tips and tricks for navigating the World Class Teacher Program Candidate Support Canvas course for National Board Certification candidates.